And a very warm or cold good evening to everyone, and welcome to Wednesday Night Racing. It's weird to be on the comms box for this, but nevertheless, welcome to everyone. Welcome to Rasha. It's the second time for me this week, so if you are bored of me, I do apologize. I am alone in the comms box tonight. There is no one with me, so feeling quite lonely tonight, but hopefully the comment section will keep me busy. And thank you very much for tuning in. So, Quali 1, we kicked off just over 13 minutes left. Jacques Legrand is setting the pace on a blistering 132.64. Lee van Rooyen just behind him at 133. Nam Bulldog really showing some pace in third. Eugene in fourth. The rest of the guys still need to go out and pit at the moment. So yeah, welcome. And it looks like it's clear weather. It looks like it's going to be a good evening. Not as cold, hopefully, as it's here in South Africa. But yeah, let's have some fun. So we're just going to see who's out on track. So we want to follow Tiger Bolt a bit. He's in the pits at the moment. And also let's have a look. So let's have a look there. Burnout is outside. Let's follow Skadonks around. So he's driving for the Red Bull team. Obviously pairing up with Lee van Rooyen. Very strong team. Probably one of the better combinations with Tiger Bolt and DBR. Obviously my teammate alone tonight in the Haas team. Apologies for that. We'll make up for that hopefully in the rest of the season. But yeah. How's it, Warlock? Thanks for popping in on the stream. Hopefully we can get some comments through to make this all worth the while. Me not racing. So hopefully we can get some comments through here. While I'm busy with this, I just want to take you guys through the driver standings for Tier 1. Let's just get there. So obviously with dry conditions, it looks like it's definitely not going to rain somewhere along the line. So the guys have got a pretty good idea of what they want to do. Some good practice sessions has been put in by all the drivers. Only 15 drivers on track tonight, so not a lot of pressure in Quali 1. It's really just to keep the wheels on. It's to set just to get a feel of the car, get a feel of maybe put some fuel in, see how it behaves. Everyone out's on softs. That's nothing new to us. We normally see that in Quali 1, and Quali 2 is really where the guys start opting for different tyre choices. Obviously in Quali 2 we pick the tyre that the guy will start the race on. So as Skadonk pops into the pits on a 136.6, he can definitely go faster than that. He's probably just gonna put in some more fuel, probably take the same tyres, get out there and see what he can do. Burnout, he's definitely due for a good race. The Renault guys really having a hard time at the moment. Obviously, Burnout pairing up with Wizards First Rule. So not a bad together yet, and with only, I think there's only 6 races left. So we've basically got Japan next week, then we've got Mexico, we've got Brazil, USA, and then Abu Dhabi. And then we're basically done with Season 1 before we pop into Season 2, which is going to be hopefully a game breaker for us all, for the league. And we will switch to the new 2020 game. So please stick around. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be entertaining. Tiger Bolt's also on track. One of the, like I said earlier, one of the better pairings. Tiger Bolt obviously pairing up with DBR 257, a really good pairing. They do practice a lot. DBR found some decent pace. So hopefully the Barbie cars can put it together. He's already put in a purple first sector, and we'll follow him around and see how he goes on track. At the moment, Jacques Lefrance is still provisional pole, followed by Lee and Nam Bulldog, so no change in the top three so far. Remember, no one's going to drop out of this qualifying session. Obviously, a couple of guys not here tonight. We have Senior Ghost, who's not available tonight. We also have Nick Gishan, and I think also Antoni. And then obviously myself also not being available, popping into the comms box to make sure that everything gets sorted. So as we head into this race, it's Jacques Lefrance at the moment, just leading by 2 points from Buddies. So Buddies had a very good race last week in Singapore. Not such a good race for Jock, so Buddies caught up 25 points there. Lee van Rooyen is currently in third, just 7 points behind Buddy, so he's definitely still in it. Tiger Bolt on fourth on 87, myself on 70, and then DBR on 58. Obviously this will be a no-go for me this evening, so no points up for grabs. It's almost like the quiz. What do you win? You win absolutely nothing. So Tiger Bolt popping in with a 1:33.4, very good time, pushes Nam Bulldog down to fourth, and then as I say, that Wizard's first rule, what a lap by him, a 1:33.1. He really needs a good race. I think he will be extremely proud. A sigh of relief from him, no invalid lap, putting that Renault, and we haven't seen a Renault really in the top 5 at all this season, so wouldn't that just be great for us? On the constructor side, it's the Racing Point leading the way. Like I said earlier, very good pairing there. They're leading the way from Mercedes, the Haas team in third, Aston Martin, Red Bull in fourth, and then the Rocket Williams team in fifth, McLaren all the way down in sixth. The Renault team sitting on currently in last place on 11 points, so they really need everything that can come their way. So hopefully they can get that sorted. So Razor saying also joining the stream, he's one of our tier 2 drivers for the Renault, for the Red Bull team. He's saying have a good race, so welcome Razor. So Sheldon, I don't really want to talk to Sheldon at the moment because he's costing me a race tonight. So Sheldon, I'm not going to mention you. I'm just going to block you out on YouTube here. It's easy. So yeah, so everyone has set a time except for Burries at the moment. Burries, let's get on with him. He's driving with the Merc. He's pairing up with Manu. I'm not sure why Manu is not in this session. I did join a little bit late, so there might have been an incident or connection issues, I'm not sure. But Burries is on an out lap. Here, Buerta also still needs to set the lap. He's currently fitted the mediums. We're pretty sure he will go to the softs eventually. Buddha, it's me Buddha, retired from the session. Not sure what happened to him. So that's just going to make it easier for the guys to go through to Q2. Only 6 minutes left. 14 guys going through. So no real pressure. So Gerard Buerta just needs to put a time up. Burries the same thing, although Burries has gone purple in sector 2. Just get a lap in, just put it all together, yeah, just get that time in, make sure it's registered. And DBR has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane, so that's not going to help the cause for DBR. He was currently in 10th, so he's not going to take part in Q2. Or 3 for that matter. He will probably start, depending on what all the other results are, he will probably start last or just 14th. Jacques Lefrance retiring from the session. I think he saw that he's gone through, so with only 5 minutes left there's no reason to push, so rather quit the session, hurry up or speed up the process. Burry is popping in a 1:32.9, so definitely in third, pushing Wizards first route to fourth, Tiger Bottom fifth, now Nam Bulldog in sixth. 7th Eugene Sniffleizer in 8th, one of our new drivers. Manu, sorry, there is Manu. Manu's in 9th. Jaco Nagel in 10th. Burnout in 12th. And Skadonks seems to still get on it. Gea Buerta, let's see what he's doing, what he's getting up to. Hopefully, yeah, he is out in the Toro Rosso. He's obviously pairing up with Nick Gishan. But Nick Gishan not here tonight. Some other responsibilities for him. So a bleak looking grid for us tonight, but pretty sure everything will turn back to normal next week in Japan, when we start off with Tier 2 on Monday night. Gerard Botha just going around on, he is still on the mediums. I think he just want to get the feel for the car. He probably opted for a different tyre strategy in terms of tyre selections. So he probably wants to get rid of the mediums, save the softs for Q2. Hopefully he can get through to Q3 and then just burn all the softs that he can. Runs a little bit wide there, comes back. He just needs to set a time. There's no rush in that. He doesn't need to go quick. He just needs to go legal. Make sure there's no corner cutting available. We saw on Monday night in Tier 1 or Tier 2 that there was, and he puts up a time, so that will take him safely through to Q2. So he can just pop into the pits and be part of Q2. So he's all alone tonight in that Toro Rosso, so plenty of focus in the garage for him. And yeah, so your current standings, just over 3 minutes left. Jacques Lefrancie, obviously provisional pole. Leaf on second, Buddy's third. Wizards first, rule in fourth. Brilliant lap by him. Tiger Bolt in fifth. Nam Bulldog in sixth. Eugene seventh. Snifflizer in eighth. Manu in ninth. And Jakob Nagel in 10th. So that rounds up your top 10. We've lost 2 guys along the way. DBR that's been disqualified from the qualifying session for blocking the pit lane. And it's me, Buddha. We're not sure what happened to him. But let's see. Adrian saying, yeah, hello gentlemen, and thank you HP for your sacrifice. It's got a sour taste to it. Needless to say, sitting here, oh, and as I say that, Gerard Botha just got a big moment. Knocks off the end plate on the left-hand side of that Toro Rosso, so no need for him to push, no need to retire. He's gone through to Q2. Just get the car back to the pits, get a new nose cone on, and have some vodka. So yeah, Adrian, it's a pleasure. It's always nice to be in a Comstock, but bittersweet feeling, yeah, not being able to race and sitting in a comms box. Obviously I feel this is a big team sport, so it feels like I'm letting my teammate down, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good night tonight, and I'm holding thumbs for him. I'm almost going to be as biased as the British commentators are with Lewis Hamilton. I'm not supposed to say that name really. So Gerard, as I said, ducking into the pits, I think he realizes that he's gone through to Q2. And now it is one of those 2 minutes. I wish we had commercials, so I could go to a commercial right now, because there's 2 minutes left. Most of the guys sitting in the pits, no one really going out to do anything funny. Jaco Nagel at the moment in the Alpha. He's teaming up with Savage Moses. Not sure why Savage Moses is not part of us tonight, but Jaco Nagel pushing that soft a bit. He thinks he can go a bit faster. He just wants to scare the guys a bit, get in there, get in on the top 5. And also see what his pace is going to look like for Q2. So, but a very open track, this a very flowing track, a lot of rhythm that you need. Stability on the back end extremely important on this track. Corner cutting is absolutely insane here. Certain tracks that you can cut a little bit of the tarmac to sort of like decrease your distance. Excuse me, but in general, a very tough track for corner cutting. So we'll see how he goes at the moment. Nice gear shifting, a good short shift there over the DRS, opens DRS wide. We're going to see how he goes into this very tricky right turn, third gear right turn. See if he can line himself nicely up for the next one. Takes it in second, short shift third, goes out. Is he gonna? Yeah, he straightens nicely, going to fifth, and then this is probably the trickiest part in the track. Yeah, definitely running wide there, trying to correct. If you do go wide in that section, that will definitely cost you 5-6 tenths. So it is definitely the most trickiest section, I would say, on the track for these cars. All the other corners are very fast flowing corners, fourth and fifth gear, third gear corners, probably turn 1, and I think the last section, sector 3, is probably where things are going to get difficult. So, qualifying 1 officially over. We haven't lost anyone due to time differentials, but we have lost 2. DBR 257, and it's me, Buddha, out of qualifying. So 13 guys will go through to Q2. And just a confirmation for you, Jock LaFrancie, obviously provisional pole, Lee, Eugene, Burries, and Wizard rounding up your top 5. Tiger Bolton 6th, Nam Bulldog in 7th, Sniffleizer 8th, Manu 9th, Yaku Nagel in 10th, DBR 11th, Burnout 12th, Skadonks in 13th, and Gia Guerta all the way down to 14th. Like I said, no real pressure on the guys. This is all just to get a lap in. Apologies. And just to get things going. So, just 50 minutes in Q2. Remember, we will lose 2 drivers here. Or sorry, 4 drivers. We will lose 4 drivers here. BBR, although he has been disqualified, seems like he's gone through to the section because he has set the time. So 14 drivers left in Q2. Only 1 driver lost, it's me, Buddha. But I'm pretty sure he will make it up from the back of the grid. DBR currently also part of this mix. And we will then lose 4 cars in the session. That will go through to Q2. I'm going to put some telemetry up for you so you can see what the guys have fitted. And already you can see there that Manu is just weighing up his options in the pits, selecting between the softs and the mediums. Jacques LaFrancie also just with the mediums on, just seeing to rake buddies. Normally his strategy is mediums or hards in Q2. So we'll see how that works for him. The rest of the guys all on softs. So let's see how that's going to turn out for them. Currently out on track, Lee taking the first piece of tarmac for himself. I think he wants to get a lap in, put some pressure on everyone else behind him. It's always nice when you put a very good lap as a banker lap in. Get it done, pop into the garage, see what the rest of the guys are doing. DBR also on track. I saw another Red Bull, which is probably Skadonks. He's also on track. Yeah, he's just behind Lee. And then just behind him, it looks like Nam Bulldog in the Haas team. So we'll get a bit on board with Nam Bulldog here and see how he goes. He's led last week in Singapore. Had a very good race until that unfortunate incident. Singapore does take its toll on drivers, but a very good race by him. Probably should have got very close to the win. Unfortunately, had a DNF. And a very difficult season, I think, for him and myself. Not performing the way that we should be performing. But there's always a second season. There's always a next race. There's always a next time. So I had a chat with Nam Bulldog before the race. He seems very confident. He seems like the car is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So we'll keep an eye out on him. Maybe he's definitely one of those contenders for pole position. So let's get on board with him. It's always beautiful to be with your teammate on board. So let's follow him around Sochi in Russia as he heads up to turn 2. Nice exit out of the short shift to 4th. It was very tricky 4th corner, 4th gear. Try not to run too wide, that will be track limits for you. And then turn 5, oh, he's got purple, turn 5, 4th gear as well. Nice short shift there by him. This is very tricky. Your car wants to drift left, pushes it to the right. Try not to touch too much of that curve because it will be invalid. Car looks extremely stable. 4th gear there, normally that's the 5th gear corner. Very stable, no wheel spin. Into 3rd, touching the apex there, 4th gear. This is an extremely clean lap by him. DRS wide open. Here, you want to stay as close as possible to the right hand side of the track. Let the car on the track to speed you into the left. Hard braking zone here, 3rd gear. Touch the apex. Keep your flow, stay in 3rd, short shift to 4th, get out of it. Brilliant, brilliant. Very tricky section here. You want to go in here in 2nd, short shift 3rd. Just touch the apex again. Make sure you short shift. Get plenty of traction out of that corner. And as we come to this really difficult last corner, you can lose the back end very quickly. Jumps into 2nd, 3rd. Good rotation. What a lap. 133.3. Very good lap there by Nam Bulldog. It was awesome to be with him on board. Lee van Rooyen currently your provisional pole on a 133.046. So 3 tenths between him and Nam Bulldog. Skadonks at a 135.7 in third position. We will see who else is on track. Burnout, let's see what Burnout is doing. That Reynolds surely looked hooked up in Q1. So we'll see if he can carry that through to Q3, or to Q2 rather. And that surely should be invalid. Yes, it is. Cutting a bit too much of the corner. You do not want to do this in qualifying 2. Remember the tyres that you put your fastest lap on, you will carry that tyres into Q or into the race. So you really just want to do a very easy out lap. Obviously a good hot lap. And then your in lap, look after the tyres, get into the pits and wait and see. It's very difficult sometimes for the guys, especially now for Wizard's first rule, or for it's Burnout, messing up that lap. He's going to have to do another lap on those tyres. And it's just going to take some endurance out of your tyres for the start of the race, which means that you are going to pit sooner. He's decided against it. He's going to pit. There is still over 9 minutes left. So he's got time to do a second run, put some new boots on, and see how far he can get up on the grid. But qualifying 2 is really all about just looking after your tyres, getting through, make sure you get through, and looking after your tyres. Barry's out on track, so there's only 4 guys with the medium tyre selections. Manu is on an outlap, Jacques Lacrance is on an outlap, and as I say that, Barry's pops into third with a 133.8 on a medium. It's a very good lap by him. Wow, that it's going to be very close for him to see if he can get through on that. Jacques Lacrance also out on the mediums. Let's follow him around. He's coming out of the pits now. Eugene just in front of him, so let's get on board with Eugene and the McLaren. Eugene and Devon pairing up in the McLaren team. Very strong pairing, very fast drivers. Had the privilege of practicing a bit with Eugene last night. Not sure if I should practice or not, not sure if I was going to race or not. And now I really understand how F1 reserve drivers feel. You get emotionally ready for the race, and as I say that, it goes purple in sector 1. Barry's going off there to make way. Good job by him. A little bit of distraction for Eugene. We'll see how that affected him, but very nice rotation out of the corners. He's really getting this car hooked up on those mediums. So purple was in sector 1 on mediums, which is extremely fast. We'll see how sector 2 goes for him. But yes, like I said, so that's how I understand now how reserve drivers feel. You get yourself all psyched up, you go through all the emotions, all the psychology, the training, and you think that you're going to get a seat, and then just to get told that you do not have a seat for next season. So you need to be a strong character to be in Formula 1. Probably something I realized tonight. So Eugene also purple sector 2 on mediums, and he is really on a nail here. He can put a lap together. It will surely take him through. We'll see how he manages this last 2 sections of the track. Good rotation out of there. Third gear. Can he plant it? Can he plant it? Lost a little bit of time, but 134.2 for him. So just after Jaco Nagel and just after Barry. So not the cleanest of sector 3s. Man Bulldog popping up in second on a pair of softs. So he just decided he wants to start the race on a pair of softs. And then Tiger Bolt in third, Barry's in fourth, Jaco Nagel in fifth, Eugene on the mediums in sixth. And then you've got Sniffalizers, Skadonks, Manu is still yet to time, so we'll get a bit on board with Jacques Lacrance. He's currently leading our World Championship driver standings, extremely fast driver, very consistent. We'll see how he puts a lap together on these mediums. Let's see if he can get to Barry's time of a 133.8, and he goes purple. He goes purple already. Eugene getting nicely out of the way there. What a drive by Jock. It is just a sheer pleasure. It's really just art to get on board with someone like this. I hope I don't jinx him. I don't know. I hope he doesn't have an incident. But really getting out of the corners. No wheel spin. Good traction. Good rotation of the wheels. We'll see how he handles this very tricky sector 3. Wow, just goes through that amazing. He gets that hooked up. Let's see how he does this. Yeah, brilliant. Touch the apex. You want to touch the apex again, yeah. On the throttle, short shift like he did. Now it's just all about two corners between you and the finish line. It's between you and an awesome time on the medium. So let's see how he does this. He's not going to do that invalid. No, he's not. And he goes third. A 1:33.5 on mediums. That is a good 3/10 faster than Burry's. Um, much faster than Eugene on the mediums. Manu on the mediums currently in 10th. The guys that still need to set the time is obviously Burnout. Gea Botha was its first rule. It's stuck in the pits. DBR at the moment, but let's see how Gerard's going. Gea Botha, obviously new to manual gears. Very good turn. One there. Gets on the throttle nice. We'll see how he manages. Sun slightly in his eyes. Short shift a bit there. Oh, that's not good. But yeah, so Gerard also needs some points tonight. It's the ideal night for him to get some points for that Toro Rosso team. Obviously, Nick Kisha not here. So the team heavily relying on him to go through. And let's see what Wizard's first rule. You bear. Crofty is up to in the Renault. He is on a lap at the moment. We'll see how he goes. And we'll follow him around. Just over 4 minutes left in qualifying 2. And I'm so excited. And my teacup Pekingese is also getting excited. Nice. So running a little bit wide there, but definitely a green sector for him. So that is a personal best. We'll see what he needs to do. So he needs to chase a 1:34.5, which is set by himself at the moment on the soft. So he's trying, or by his Burnout. So Wizard trying to out-qualify his teammate on a set of mediums. And boy, is that not going to go down well in the Renault team if he can manage to put the lap together. So we'll see how our South African American is doing. Also had a chat to him before the stream. A lot of difficulties for us to stream tonight, but we managed to get that sorted. I'm very happy about that. So let's see if the Renaults can make up. Let's see if they can have a better last bit of the season than what they had earlier. Running a little bit wide. You do want to touch that apex, which you didn't. Now you want to touch apex again. Second. Oh, brilliant. Beautiful taken. Let's see if he goes to beautiful taken there through as well. Good traction. 2 corners left for him. Let's see if that puts him into the top 10. He's probably going to have 1 lap more of his mediums if he chooses to. Is this going to put him through? Is it? Stays 14th. So, yeah, this is going to be his flying lap. So let's see how he manages to put this together. Gea Botha currently in 13th. Manu in 12th on the mediums. Skadonks in 11th on the softs. And then obviously the break-off point for Q2 is it's Burnout on a 1:34.5. He's opted to go out again. He didn't have a clean lap. He's put on another set of softs to see if he can improve. And let's see what he gets up to. So he's obviously decided to pop into the pits. He thinks he's had enough. Skadonk's currently in the pits. Mon in the pits. I think everyone's sort of like decided that's it for them. Sniffleizer is on an out lap. It almost looks like a Fernando Alonso helmet, and a big Fernando Alonso fan I am. So it's nice to see that. So he's in a Ferrari, replacing Rishan, who moved to tier 2, where he's a bit more comfortable. So he's obviously teaming up with Senior Ghost, who's not here tonight. Got some studying to do. It's hard being a Formula 1 driver and have a career. So he's studying, and as I said, that Sniffleizer goes 7th. I had the privilege of driving with him in midweek racing as well. A very good driver, very fast on a day. And yeah, just over 1 minute left, and I think that's basically done. We'll see who else goes out on track. Gerard Kotze also on the stream saying good evening everyone, and go down Bulldog, obviously his brother. So welcome Gerard to the stream. And then we've got Titus saying go Tiger Balls, we got this. At the moment Tiger Balls in 4th, obviously not showing real pace. This is not the session that you want to show all your cards. You just want to get through to Q3. Q3 is where all the magic will start happening. Apologies. And so Jacques Lefrance retired from the session. He safely through in 3rd on the mediums, and what a blistering time that was. If I look at that, I can just imagine what a good lap on the softs will be in Q3. But let's keep an eye out for Jock and see what he can do for us tonight. Maybe he can surprise us again with one of his good lap times. So just under a minute left, no one really going out. This is where the commercial should pop in. Sniffleizer just having another go, but I think he's safe at the moment. Manu is out. He's on an out lap. Not sure if he's going to make it to the start-finish line in time. We'll see. I don't think he's going to make it. Geerbota's decided to give up. That's him for the session. Wizard's first rule. He's on a lap at the moment on the mediums. Oh, loses the back end there. Let's see if he can improve from 14th. Maybe jump a couple of places. Only 6 seconds left, and he invalidates the lap. So that will keep him in 14th. So he will not improve on his time, unfortunately. Manu did not make it to the finish line to start another lap. So Manu will be out of Q2 and Skadonks. So we will be losing SR Skadonks, Manu Dietrich, Gerard Botha, and Wizard's first rule will be lost to Q1. And your provisional pole, Lee van Rooyen, followed by Nam Bulldog, both on softs. The big threat, Jacques Lafranci on the mediums in third. Jaco Nagel, Tiger Volt, and DPR rounding up your top 6. Boris in 7th, Sniffleizer 8th, Regina 9th, and it's Burnout in 10th. And it's an absolute privilege to see, and so nice to see a Renault going through to Q3. And hopefully you can put one of those really good laps in again in Q3 to maybe even get him on the 3rd or 4th row of the grid. So to round up qualifying 2 for you, Lee van Rooyen, Nam Bulldog, Jacques Lafranci, and Jaco Nagel, your first 2 rows. But remember, this is just to go through to the next session. Obviously, qualifying 3 is where we will get our pole sitter, the bragging rights, and let's see how the guys get on with this. So Q3 is up next, then followed by 50% race distance. Our next track will be Japan next week, which is one of those difficult tracks, I would say. So tier 2 will be on Monday night, and then obviously tier 1 on Wednesday night. Hopefully everyone will return to their normal duties on Wednesday, so we can have a full tier again. The proper commentators in here for tier 1, as I feel a bit uncomfortable commentating on my rivals. But hey, it's always the first time for everything. It's almost like doing late night radio and talking to yourself at 2 o'clock in the morning. Can't think that's fun. Anyway, welcome to qualifying 3. 12 minutes is on the clock, and as we tick down to 11 minutes and 55 seconds, 10 drivers fighting out for pole. Hot favorite at the moment from my side is definitely Jacques Lafranci. If I look at the time that he's put up on the mediums, yeah, everyone will go out on softs. There's no reason to go out on any other tire. You will not gain anything by it. Yeah, it's about getting pole, getting a clean start, getting to turn 1. And sometimes I don't know if really pole is the best place to be here in Russia. It's a long drag to turn 1. You are a sitting duck. The guys will do get a bit of a slipstream with you, or with you in front of them. So I'm not sure if I really want to be on pole tonight here. But let's see if Jock's got other ideas. Obviously, other contenders, definitely Tiger Bolt, Lee van Rooyen, who was fastest in Q2. And then also Jaco Nagel showing some good pace. And we know that Eugene had a purple sector 1 and 2, and then lost it a bit in sector 3. But he can definitely go faster. So he's on track at the moment. Buddies is on track. Tiger Bolt's on track. Nam Bulldog's on track. So the guys are all popping out, trying to get a good lap under the belt. Get your first lap in. You can get a second run in here if you are out first. If you have a clean lap, a decent lap, you can pop into the pits, put a new set of boots on, and go for it again. Obviously, the guys who has fitted the softs in qualifying 2 needs to be careful here, because they only have so many tires left unless they pick the softer option, which will give them no harder option, if I'm not mistaken, in the race. So it will be then a soft medium. So this track would be a medium soft or soft medium track, I think. I don't think anyone will pop into the hards here. The sun is out. I'm not sure what the track temperature is, but it should be good track temperature for the softs and the mediums. Switch them on very quickly, get the traction, get the rotation on the wheels and the axles. Yeah, and let's see how the guys get on with it. So now Bulldog just creating a bit of space between him and the rest of the clan. And we'll see you guys over the line first. Looks like it will be Tiger Bolt. But let's see, let's follow these guys around. Hopefully it's Burnout can have a really good qualifying. I think it would mean the world team if he can get into the top 6. He did show some pace in Q3. He's had the opportunity to do a couple of quali laps, see where he can improve, see where he's made mistakes. And it's all about learning. It's all about going out to Q1, get a feel for the track, get a feel for the temperatures. Yeah, and then we'll see. So everyone basically out on track. Let's just get some telemetry up here for everyone. Obviously everyone will fit the softs. And I will put some indication for you there. And thank goodness not for 2 AM radio talk or commercials. I wish I had one of those annoying Outsurance adverts that I can go to, which I think annoys everyone. Joined. Thank goodness. I am extremely happy. I can finish my meal. Welcome to Antony. He's one of our tier 2 drivers, Tones R. He also commented a while ago. He was my race engineer for last week. We didn't have a bad race. Everything was good from his side. It was obviously all the messes from my side. But welcome, Antony.
Thanks, Heinrich. Yeah, I heard your calls for help about the 2 AM radio, and yeah, I can't sleep either, so I thought I'd help you out. So this is my first crack at commentary, so bear with me, and I hope I can add some value.
This is awesome. I'm so happy to hear someone else in my headset. It is, you're not sure. It is very difficult. I think if you commentate alone, I don't think anyone has commentated on the Formula 1 race. I think the only guy who can really do that is probably Murray Walker. But I can't, obviously. There is these odd silences sometimes when I try to do something. I'm having some wine just to make it a bit better. Also very difficult to commentate on guys that I drive normally against. So that's not very easy. There is obviously a lot of favoritism here by me for the Haas team with my teammates. And as we say that, Lee van Rooyen pops in a 132s. We are in a 132s with a 132.6 on the softs. Jaco Nagel 7/10 behind him. Sniffleizer in 3rd. Tiger Bolt in 4th. DBR not the cleanest of laps, but I'm sure you will find some pace in 5th. I really want to see what Burnout is doing. Adrian has been putting some really time and effort in. That doesn't look like an invalid lap, so he's sorted. He can get on with this lap. Antonio, how was it's obviously a difficult track. I mean, you didn't have the best races on Monday night.
No, I haven't had the best one. I was very lucky to get through the carnage just as we started the race. But yeah, it's not a very difficult track for me. It's just, I think, maybe finding your rhythm, through the corners. None of the corners are really technical for me, but yeah, I think it's the entry to the corners that I struggled with a lot, and I found that to cost my race actually. So
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't do much practice in the session because I knew I was probably going to commentate somewhere on the line. But I also battled, and it's true what Lee always says in the comments box. He says, and he says it in the comment section as well. Slow is sometimes faster, and it's all about just making sure you get a good entry, get a good exit. We see a lot of guys losing the back end, a lot of wheel spin at the back. You really don't want this on this track because it will influence your tire wear. But if I look at your season, which I want to get to now, I just want to pop in here and Gerard saying, why am I not on track? Gerard, I think your brother's fired me. I think he's tired of me. I think the Haas team has made a unanimous decision that they don't want me in the Haas team anymore. So I'm looking for a drive for next season. But your season, you and Nicholas, obviously your teammate, you guys do get along very well. Nicholas, also not new to the game, but also one of the newer guys. It's been a good races for the Red Bull team in essence. I mean, Singapore, Nicholas did have a good finish. You obviously had some bad luck. I know before that in Italy, I think both of you finished in the top 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Italy, I actually had a very good race. I think I was, for a split second on the end of the race, I was in 3rd place, but unfortunately the time penalties cost me, so I dropped down a bit, I think, to maybe 5th or 6th, I couldn't remember now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a good race there, and yeah, I'm starting to get, get that racecraft that everyone's talking about. But yeah, it's something that needs constant work. You don't just get it overnight. And a lot of these racetracks are also very new to me. I haven't even seen the live races on a lot of these tracks yet, so I'm still learning them as I go along. But yeah, with Nicholas being basically the Red Bull #1 driver, he's always willing to share some pointers and tips and, help me improve my racing as well. So I'm very thankful for that.
That's awesome. So, at the moment, Frans Kotze is obviously the only driver in ours. There's no #1 and 2 tonight. There's only one. Gerard Kotze having a good laugh at me. And yeah, Gerard, we obviously, our commentator had some issues with his PlayStation. That needed to go in for repairs. And as a league, sometimes you need to make decisions on what is more important in the league. Is it a race or is it a stream for viewers? And glad we made this decision to stream this tonight. Obviously very weird not being in the car. I did not do a lot of practice, so I probably wouldn't have been on my best tonight. I'm not sure if I found my best yet. But I love this track. I think it's an awesome track. I think it's very intimidating because it's almost like Monza. You want to go fast, and as I say fast, Jacques Lefranc pops in with a 1:32.5. I'm pretty sure he can go faster than that. He takes provisional pole, just over 2 minutes left. Eugene in 2nd place. I knew he had it in somewhere. Had a chat with him last night. He feels extremely confident on this track. Lee van Wern in 3rd. So really just 2 tenths covering the first 3. Nam Bulldog 7 tenths off Lee van Wern, and a brilliant 4th. Jaco Nagel 5th. Tiger Bolton 6th. We still need to see something from It's Burnout. He is really battling to get on with it.
I'm just on board with him now, and he unfortunately validated his lap. He's just come around the last corner now, about to start the new hot lap. So let's hope he can make something of this. I'm very glad to see him in the Quali 3. I think he really deserves it. And yeah, it's a very good friend of mine, so I hope he's got a good one tonight.
Absolutely. So if we talk about drivers, and I like to talk about drivers that gives our audience a good understanding of who's who. Adrian is probably the most stubborn people that I know, but he is so committed. If I think of the guys that I've obviously seen online in practice, and I'm not talking just, I'm talking purely tier 1 now. I think the guy who puts in the most effort all around is probably himself and Wizard. Now Wizard's first rule, obviously from the States, he's on a different timeline, so it's very difficult for these guys to get together and practice together because of timeline difference, 8 hours. But very committed, those two. They haven't had the best of luck. They haven't had the best of qualifying. And I always believe that if you do not make qualifying, 3. Just make sure that you're at least 10th or 11th so you can pick fresh tires, new tires. Oh, and that is someone who got in the way of Barry's. Barry's is going to be fuming under that helmet. He is on a fast lap. That was not cool. Let's see if he can at least just get this lap together. He goes fastest with a 1:32, 3:06. I didn't see that coming. So brilliant lap by him. A full 10th faster than Jacques Legrand. So so Jacques thought he had it in him. Surprise, surprise, Boris is on the run here. And a very good lap there by the Merc guys. Commitment also from practicing, I would say 4 or 5 hours a day. Probably Manu and Buddies extremely committed to the game. These guys live Formula One. I think actually they got Formula One underpants. I think they rotate sometimes. I think one of them is a Ferrari fan. So I'm pretty sure they dish out each other's underpants and make sure that they wear all the brands. But Manu and Buddies, I would say in general, is probably the 2 oaks that puts the most time into practice. And you can see that on track, Anthony. These guys are fast because they practice. It's not because they are inhuman. It's not because they've got rigs. It's not because they've got special controllers. These guys are just fast because they practice.
Yes, no, I think it was on Wednesday night. Boris was race engineer for us, and I could pick up from chatting with him that he and Manu is actually very good friends, and that also I think helps a lot if you actually are very close to your teammate in terms of location. I mean, you guys can really chat a lot and maybe align your schedules to practice more.
As far as I know, Anthony, they actually stay together. As far as I know, they also got a 1-bedroom flat, so I'm not sure who suits with who. But qualifying officially over and pole position for Boris. What a lap by him. 1:32. So you're putting a cat amongst the pigeons. Jog did go a bit faster. Obviously not fast enough in the rocket. Williams, he's in second. Eugene and Lee van Rooyen running up your second row of the grid. Nam Bulldog, a very good performance by him in the third row of the grid, followed by Jaco Nagel. Next to them we'll have Tiger Bolt and Sniffleizer and DBR and it Burnout rounding up your top 10. So glad for Burnout, Adrian, to get through to Q3.
I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, I think he just needs to keep it together now. Obviously not a lot of drivers tonight in the session, only I think 15. So hopefully the guys can keep it together, give us a good race. Boy, I'm glad you're in the comms box with me. I do not know what I would have done by lap 10. I think I would have done all my information, all my shares. I do want to talk about, I didn't have a list with me really, but I was quickly on the laptop making some notes here in terms of, I really want to talk during the race about season 2 for Full Throttle Racing. It gives me the opportunity to tell everyone where we're going, where we're headed, what is our goal. And obviously these drivers will watch the stream tomorrow morning to see how their race was, if they do finish. Sometimes if I don't finish, I tend to not watch the stream at all. But so I definitely want to talk around FTR a bit during the race tonight to tell the guys what season 2 holds for us. I'm very excited about what we're trying to achieve. A lot of new drivers which we'll talk about. But in essence, a good showing again by Buddies. I mean, he's just 1 point away from leading the World Championship from Jock. Lee keeping in touch with them. So yeah, those 3 guys that's on the first 2 rows of the grid. So it's going to be interesting. So you've got Buddies, Jock, and Lee. So it's the first 2 rows of the grid, and that's your 3 contenders for the championship. I think we've lost slightly touch with them. If I say we, I mean myself, DBR, Tiger Bolt, and Nam Bulldog. We've slightly lost touch with the guys. Obviously, we're not competing tonight. That's no points for me, unless someone wants to give me 10 brownie points. In France, I actually want to say, Gerard, can you maybe organize me a drive for next season? At the moment, I don't have a car, I don't have points, I don't have anything. So yeah, rounding up Codemasters, your qualifying 3 session. Barry's on pole. So he's going to be excited. He's having a very good season, or a very good last part of the season. Had a couple of, I think 1 DNF, 1 10th or 11th place. So he's coming back very strong. And I think last week in Singapore set it up nicely for him, with the win. Alright, so we're just waiting for Codemasters to get us through, then we'll go into our formation lap, and we'll get things going. I see Sheldon is not saying anything on the stream. He's probably scared that I will say something about him not being able to stream tonight. So he will pay my half salary for this evening. I'm pretty sure that will not come out of the team.
Yes.
One thing I pick up now that's extremely nice is obviously all the South African flags on the right-hand side of your screen as the driver's really up. It would be nice to see a South African flag somewhere like we see in MotoGP and Moto2 with Brad Binder. It would be nice to have someone in Formula One also from South Africa. I think that will be really, really good for us. I'm course saying the red team. I'm worried now. Is that Ferrari or Alpha? I don't want to get into an Alpha. I'd rather have an Haas. So, Reinhard Britt saying, go Jock and Savage. I need a 1-2 from you guys. Am I being confused because I do not see Savage on here?
No, I don't see him either.
So, clearly Savage not racing tonight. Not sure what the issues are. But your 3 championship contenders is first, second, and fourth. Eugene's putting his neck out there. He also wants to make a strong finish to the season. Yeah, and to follow up next season. So, formation lap for the guys. And we'll see how the guys take us through. We're going to try to stick with Barry's through everything to get a nice view from the start. Antonio, I am going to quickly pop out of the comms box just to leave you at the 2 a.m. thing for like 2 seconds. So I will be with you now.
Okay. So, as we watch the guys going through the formation lap, I'm hoping we will have a good getaway without any major incidents. Since we don't have a full grid, I would like to see most of the guys finish the race and give us some good entertainment.
Didn't leave you for too long on Tony.
No, yeah, there was awkward silence for a moment.
Oh, was there? There was plenty of them before you joined, believe me. And I was really thinking to myself, how do these radio commentators do this 2 a.m. things when you really rely on people to send you text or give you a Twitter shout out? I mean, those are shift guys.
I think the biggest difference is they've got at least that 3 to 4 minute gap where a song plays where they can maybe get their next topic up and sorted, whereas you constantly have to speak and think on your feet. So yeah, I think the DJs has got it a bit easier than commentating.
Well, I'm extremely happy that you're here. I hope it's going to be an exciting race, not one of those races where we don't have much to commentate on, because it will be a very long night for me and you.
As you were away, I just mentioned that I'm hoping that we can have a good, clean start, unlike on Monday night, so that we can have a good race since we don't have a full grid.
Absolutely. So there's only 15 drivers on the grid. Obviously, we're missing Senior Ghost in the Ferrari. We are missing myself in the Haas team. We're missing Nick Gishan in the Toro Rosso. And we are missing someone else. I can't remember now who. But Codemaster doesn't. There we go. So it's 4 lights, it's 5 lights, and there we go. Codemaster's quick for a change. Both has a very good start. Lee this
was a bump between a Red Bull and a Williams.
There we go.
Red Bull and Williams.
Red Bull and Williams. That is definitely Lee van Rooyen and Jacques de Francie.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh man, safety car out. I'm trying to see if there's any damage on that Williams.
The Williams has got the 2 end plates missing. The Red Bull is also still going. So hopefully we can still see a race from them. I know Lee or Jacques Legrand is very quick, so he should be able to come back. I see Lee also has an end plate missing.
Yeah, definitely for something for the stewards to look out. That is not good from those 2 drivers. I mean, they've got only 4 or 5 races left for the championship. You do not really want to mess this up
No, you
with
cannot.
being, with being so
you
close. I mean,
cannot afford.
it's
Yes.
really so close between first and third. Let me just tell you. So basically, there's 2 points difference between first and second, and then 7 points between second and third, and 6 points between third and fourth. So the top 4 drivers are really covered by 15 points, and it's Jacques Lefrancie, Barry's, Lee van Rooyen, and Tigerbolt. And then I'm a distant fifth at the moment. Good grief. Yeah.
Just looking at the start of the race, the biggest winner we currently have is DBR257, making up 5 positions, and Jacques Lefrancie being the biggest loser, dropping down 9.
Yeah, I think he's probably fuming inside that helmet.
Yes.
I think so is Lee. Both very passionate drivers. Lee, obviously part of our management team. So we'll catch up with them hopefully, or I will catch up with them hopefully after the race and understand what went wrong there. But at the moment, it's lap 1. You've got safety cars. Barry's in the lead. Very clean start by him. That's all you can ask from a pole position is a clean start. Eugene in second. Nam Bulldog, a brilliant third from him. So he stayed out of all that carnage that happened behind him or next to him. DBR, like you said, the biggest winner in fourth. Tigerbolt in fifth. So this opens up a window for Tigerbolt. He is not slow. If he can put this together, he can really put DBR under pressure. I just want to put some tire compounds on here so that everyone can see where we are. So definitely,
a lot
like
of guys starting to the pits right now. I see also Burnout came into the pits for a new wing, fitted the hard tires. Jacques Lefrancie, it seems like he's back on mediums.
Yeah, he's back on
Geert
mediums.
Botha, he's served
Fitting
a
the
penalty,
hards.
it seems.
Yeah, and he's fitted the hearts. New nose cone for him as well. He probably drove through all that debris. Wizard's first rule.
Also, I wonder if they double stacked there. I didn't see that.
Yeah, maybe that was good timing from them. And Skadong's also in the pits. He's put the hearts on. I don't think he's going to get 25 laps out of that hearts. We'll see how that turns out.
Yes.
So in the pits we had all the back runners. No one on the top 4-5 is pitted. Jacques Lefrancie is obviously pitted from second position. He's now all the way down into 12th. And the weirdest part is he's back behind Lee van Rooyen again. So that little ding-dong between the two. Yeah, so that little ding-dong between the two of them absolutely benefited none of the two. In fact, it just basically put them down, all the way down on the grid. And I always ask my question, or I always say this, is why you do not win a race in corner 1. You do not.
Definitely.
So you rather lose it. So Jacques Lefrancie, knowing him personally, I know he's gonna get absolutely excited to know where he's at home. He's gonna drive the hats off of that car. Lee is probably steaming inside that Red Bull helmet. He will not give an inch. So hopefully, Antonio, we will not see a repeat of what we just saw.
Yes. You mentioning here about not winning the race in the first corner. I'm speaking of a bit of experience when we were racing at Monza. Just as the lights were going out for the race to start, I was struggling to get my footage to record, and I actually had a delayed start for that race. And seeing where I finished up, I actually had a chance for podium position. So it just goes to show you that
it does.
Just a steady race, and you should be fine.
What's disappointing for me again is all the hard work that Burnout's put in. I'm not sure what happened to him. Wizard's first rule. The Renault's again in 13th, 15th position. They cannot get a clean break. Yes, they've got fresh tyres now.
Burnout all going the way for another wing, it seems.
Oh, good grief. They're all at the back of the pack. Now he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's days like that. I think you were part of me in Singapore when I was in really good position on the hards. I was really in a good position. And I lost the car twice. Then I had a stupid Codemaster penalty. 2 nose cone repairs. You just really want to take your gloves off and say, you know what, I'm done. This is enough.
Yes, I can believe that.
So currently lap 3, I'm still on the safety car. He's probably going to stay out another lap. You've got Boris in first position on his qualifying mediums. Eugene the same, Nam Bulldog and Self DBR in 4th, Tigerbolt in 5th, Jaco Nagel in 6th, Manu in 7th, Sniffleiser in 8th. So everyone really in the top 5 not stopping. It's only from Lee van Rooyen onwards, so a big collision there between Lee and Jacques Lefrancie. That cost them 2nd and 4th. and they back behind each other again on a race start again. It's going to be another restart on the main straight.
It's going to be interesting to see what Nam Bulldog, DBR, Tiger Bolt, and Yaku is doing with their softs compared to Boris and Eugene in first and second.
Absolutely. If there's a time to get past someone, they need to get past him as soon as possible if they want to win this race. They need to get past those mediums. If they do not, obviously DRS will only be enabled the next lap. So they will not have DRS on the restart lap. But they need to get past Buddies. That's as simple as that. There's no math in that. You need to get past him. You need to stay as close as possible to him, not losing a wing. We know Eugene is extremely quick in that McLaren. And if they can get past Buddies, they can try to open up that gap. They definitely need to. They're obviously doing the soft mediums. However, Anthony, this will give them almost like 3 laps extra on the softs, just because they're behind the safety car.
Yeah, they can definitely change their pit window now. So that should play in their favor.
Gerard Kotze saying in the comments, naughty. Gerard, I agree with you. I do not understand, and maybe I'm not an aggressive driver at all. Maybe I'm not aggressive enough, but I do not understand why people want to do that on the first. That's not even a turn, it's a straight line. I do not understand why you want to get into argy-bargies on that with 27 laps waiting for you to make your race work for you. I don't get it. I don't. I get furious as Fernando Alonso. If I had a helmet on when I was driving, I would have thrown it all over my living room, because I do not understand why people take risks in the first corner. Yeah, doesn't make sense to me. Maybe in France, maybe you can give me an answer. Maybe you can give me an answer why people do things like that. Why do they get into barges on turn 1, lap 1? I don't understand. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so we're still on the safety car. We've got a couple of corners to go. Anthony, so a very good couple of races for the Red Bull guys. I mean, Nicholas not having, he just missed podium this Monday based on penalties. Obviously, Stewart's report came out. He had another penalty served, so he dropped from 4th to 5th. Monza was a good race for you guys. It seems like you're getting it together. Obviously, with Japan coming up. I think I've driven Japan 3 laps in my life, in any PlayStation game that I have. So I do not like the track.
My younger days, me and Silent Knight, we used to play Gran Turismo a lot, and Suzuka is on that game as well. So I'm a bit familiar with the track. I'm definitely not an expert, so I'm not really sure what my feelings are about the track. It's a 50-50 for me, but it's definitely. I think it's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. So there's only, like I said earlier, I think there's only 5 races left after this. We've got, or 6 races left. We've got Japan coming up next week. Then we are heading off all the way from Japan. We're heading to Mexico. Then Mexico, we're going towards the States and the USA. Then Brazil. And then we finish off our season in Abu Dhabi, all the way in the desert. And then a nice week break for the drivers to get used to the new game. Antonio, then we pop into Season 2. Are you excited about Season 2? And if you say no,
extremely excited.
You need to leave the comments box now.
I'm very excited about Season 2. I think it's going to be very good. It sounds like we've got a lot of drivers lining up for the next season, so it's going to be a big one and packed full of action.
Absolutely. We're racing again here in Sochi in Russia. Barry's leading the way. Eugene putting a little bit of pressure on him. Barry's running slightly wide there. Nam Bulldog in 3rd on the softs. He needs to get on with it. If he really wants to make this work. Eugene already having a look at Barry's going around the outside. He's probably using all the this is going to be tight. Who's going to give way? That's very good driving. Nam Bulldog obviously. And he's just benefiting on this, going on the inside of the McLaren. He's going to make this stick. He's on the soft. Is there touch? There is. Oh no. Keep it together. Come on.
Lost it. He's definitely got wing damage. Yes. Side by side through that corner is very dangerous.
It is so tough. You really want to drift all the way to the right in that corner. If you are right, you want to keep as close to left as possible, or else you will run wide. And that was just a recipe for trouble. So, not sure if Eugene's got any damage. It seems like he doesn't. He is still on the gearbox of Barry's there, but Nam Bulldog, big loser there for him. He's going to have to
came off worst. He's trying his absolute best to keep that Ferrari behind him, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it.
So, big contact, DBR, and it looks like Eugene. Not sure what Eugene did wrong there, but DBR just came past with a speed of note. There was some big contact there. I'm not sure if anyone's lost wing damage or got some wing damage.
DBR lost an end plate on the left-hand side.
That definitely looked like a risky overtake to me.
He's staying out. He's going for the next lap.
Okay, so Barry is just keeping it nicely together.
And he had the fastest lap, it seems. DBR.
Absolutely.
138.2.
So, this is going to get interesting. Eugene is obviously very feisty in that helmet now. He knows the stewards is going to look at, at that report. DRS will be enabled only on the next lap. Is he gonna have a look? No, he just makes him aware he's there.
And the fight between second and third is playing right into Barry's hands. I see he's already got a gap of 1.4 seconds.
Absolutely.
So while those two are fighting out for second place, Barry's is just leaving them behind.
So Eugene now on a nice pink sandwich here. He's got Eugene in front of him, and he's got Tiger Ball just behind him. So he's got Bobby and Ken next to him, or behind him, in front of him. I'm not sure who's behind and who, but I prefer Bobby being behind me, not Ken. But yeah, moving on. So Jaco Nagel currently in 5th position in the Soul Alpha. You've got Sniffleiser in 6th in the Ferrari. Then you've got Lee van Rooyen, and he's made up a lot of places. He's now currently in 6th position. Jacques Lefrancie in 9th. He's on the mediums. Lee is obviously also on mediums. Yes, he is. So we'll keep an eye out on those two guys. I'm telling you, we need to keep an eye out on them and see what their sector times look like. See how quickly they catch this bunch before, in front of them. Obviously, next up for Lee will be Sniffleiser and then Jaco. Jacques chasing down Manu and obviously want to get as close to Lee as possible. Buddy's opening that gap up very nicely now, 2.3 seconds. He's actually getting away from the guys. And this is a mess for Eugene and obviously for Nam Bulldog. Nam Bulldog did go into the pits. He fitted a new set of mediums all the way in 15th position. But the soft guys, they should have got past Buddies. They had the pace. They obviously couldn't make it stick. And Eugene is now everyone is just all over him. I can't see any damage or big contact between the two racing points. Again, getting involved again in an incident. Not sure what happened there. There's definitely damage. Let's have a look. So Tiger Bolt in front of DBR now. Tiger Bolt definitely in-plate damage on the left side. Eugene battling to keep that McLaren on track. I'm not sure what the problem is there.
And again, looking at the gap that Boris is creating, it's already over 3 seconds. So
absolutely working in his favor.
Yes,
he just needs to keep it together. Obviously, in circumstances like this, you sometimes get a safety car that comes out and just negates whatever lead you sort of like build up. So it's going to be very difficult. But DBR now pulling slightly away from Tiger Bolt. DBR has got some nose damage. I'm not sure how he keeps that car on track. Eugene losing a lot of time to Buddies. He's got Tiger Bolt in 4th. Jaco Nagel, with all his drama, he scored up nicely with the Alpha. So he's just... and that also brought Sniffleiser back in. Lee van Rooyen also in striking distance now. So, yeah, so Lee can definitely make something of this. Jacques Lefrancie eventually got past Manu. So Jacques up in 8th now. His next target is Lee. And I say that with a tongue in the cheek. We'll see how that goes.
So yeah, the grid's starting to settle now, and I think everybody's just now starting to get their rhythms. I think things should start to calm down a bit now.
I'm pretty sure it will start calming down. Obviously, the comment section also heating up a bit here, blaming drivers. I'm not sure you can blame drivers based on a stream. I think that's why you have stewards.
Yes.
Reinhard, it's not just all easy and see that the guy didn't turn or whatever. There was space for both. They didn't create space for each other really. And it ended up messing up both their races. But it's only lap 8 of 27, so there is still 19 laps left. So plenty of time still left to get on with it.
Yes. I was just on board with Wizard now, and Oh, and just as I said, oh, commentator's curse. Oh, goodness.
Oh, good grief. I did not see that happen. Not sure what happened there.
Wizard was putting a lot of pressure on Buddha for a couple of turns, and just as he took him, he lost it through a corner, and yeah, unfortunately, Wizard retired.
Okay, I'm trying to just hang on a bit. I just want to set my headset a little bit here. I'll be with you now.
Okay. So as we're riding now with Sniffleizer, I see him and DBR is diving into the pits. Probably going to change out that soft base for, let's see, I see Sniffleizer is going for the hards.
And there we go, that's a bit better for me.
DBR is also, he's changing over to the mediums with the new front wing.
Oh, so definitely needed to change that wing, obviously, with the contact between him and Eugene, and then also contact again with Tiger Bolt. So the stewards are going to have their hands full again tonight. Yes. I have volunteered to be to help out with the stewards. I'm obviously not racing tonight, so so Nicholas is our steward. He's driving in tier 2. So yeah, lap 9 of 27. Buddies is leading with Eugene with 3 seconds. Eugene basically stabilized that gap now. Tiger Bolt in 3rd, Jaco Nagel in 4th, Lee in 5th now, Jacques Legrandsie in 6th, and Jacques is again on the back of Lee's gearbox. So let's see if they can do it second time right. This is probably our 2 fastest drivers in this tier. We want to see clean racing. We want to see good overtaking. DRS wide open. Is he going to flick it to the left? Is he? Are they? Yeah, aggressive but clean. That's racing. Yeah. Well done, Jacques. Well done, Lee. He had the DRS. Aggressive driving, late braking by Jacques. He's through now. Can he pull away from Lee? Can he pull Lee with him to catch the rest of the guys? So they're obviously not far behind Barry's. It's absolutely insane how quick these guys are, because they did make a pit stop. They were last, literally. And if I just want to get the telemetry up here and just make sure that I do not say stupid things. But Jacques Legrandsie is in essence just under a pit stop behind Barry's. So
on the same, basically the same tires as well. If you're looking in terms of lifespan on the tires.
Yeah, so had to do so many overtakes. If he's catching
Barry's, then we might be in for a good one.
Absolutely, and what Jacques might think to himself, and also Lee now, is just push as hard as you can, see how close you can get to Barry's, and then pit for that softs and just come out and do quali lap after quali lap for 6-7 laps and just get on with it. So obviously our first retirement was Wizard's first rule. We had a couple of incidents, one safety car on lap 1 caused by Lee van Rooyen and Jacques Legrandsie. Nam Bulldog, my teammate, and I'm really rooting for him. He's currently in 12th, had a very big moment between him and Eugene. He's at the moment behind Sniffleizer and really giving this horse everything that he can. I'm putting a lot of pressure on him not being there tonight, so he's the sole point scorer, so yeah, hopefully he can get in the points, have a good race. Sniffleizer
seems like he's catching the Ferrari, so
absolutely. Sniffleizer obviously on the hard tires, so I'm not sure. I don't think Sniffleizer is going to pit again. Nam Bulldog's tires is 4 lap old. I'm not sure if he can make this stretch till the end, but he needs to get past Sniffleizer if he wants to have any go at any point. DBR now all the way in 10th after his pit stop. I just want to bring up pit stop telemetry here so we can see who stopped where. So everyone really has stopped except for Barry's, Eugene, Tiger Bolt, Jaco Nagel,
sorry, I see Jacques Legrandsie taking Jaco Nagel on the first corner, or second corner should I say, and he made it stuck.
Oh, so unbelievable.
Jacques Legrandsie in 4th position now.
He is on a mission. He's currently in 4th.
He's flying.
And followed by Lee. I mean, Lee is driving the wheels of this Red Bull at the moment. He is within striking distance of Jaco Nagel. Jaco Nagel still needs to pit though. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think that... Anthony, do you think Lee and Jacques can finish on these tires?
It's going to be difficult.
I know they are very good with tire conservation, but yeah, I'm not sure if they're that good.
Yeah, but if you think about how aggressive they need to drive now to make up positions, I'm thinking they're sacrificing a bit of tyre life now. So yeah, it's a difficult call to make.
Absolutely, and you also need to bear in mind that there is penalties flying left, right, and centre as we have a chat with you. So this is something you can't bargain on. But if you do have a race engineer, your race engineer will give you some really good information on who's doing what, and that helps you during the race as well. But yeah, so Jaco Nagel sticking with Jock. He's not letting Jock getting away from him. So Jock is now chasing Tiger Bolt. So there's a bit of a gap between, and as I say, that Tiger Bolt jumps into the pits. I will really want to see what tyres he will put on. He's probably going to go for the mediums. This is Tiger Bolt's first stop off, and as I said, at Jaco Nagel in the Alfa Romeo also pits. Both probably going to go for the mediums. Yes, we are. Let's see if there's any penalties that's going to be taken here. No, nothing for Tiger Bolt, so good job by him. Jaco Nagel serving a penalty. That's going to hurt him. And he's out eventually. So that moves up now Jacques Legrand into third position.
Bernard made a couple of positions with the guys going into the pits, so he's sitting nice now. I'm hoping he can make that stick.
So if we look at this, really in essence, is that Jacques Legrand is literally, and I just want to pop up gap to the leader. So the gap to the leader, so yeah, Jacques Legrand is literally 11 seconds away from Burries. So he's less than, so if Jacques can carry on with this, and he can carry the speed, he can actually pit again, and just come out behind Burries on fresher tyres.
Yes.
Unbelievable speed. And I mean, if you look at, I just want to see, so Lee has also stopped, so Lee's made that decision. He said, look, hang on, I'm going to get stuck behind this Ferrari, let me rather pit for the softs. I'm not sure why Lee wants to pit for softs.
It's going to be a stretch for him to try and finish on that. He's probably going to have to stop again.
14 laps on softs. I was not on board with Lee, so I'm not sure if he did make an error and lost something on the nose that he had to go and pit. But currently, Burry is your race leader. So there we are. Eugene bringing that gap down nicely now to 1.8 seconds. And Eugene is playing the game here. He is just sticking with Burries. He's not pitted on the softs. He's obviously, if he can make those softs work, if he can have really good tyre wear, he can actually just pit more or less the same time as what Burries pits. And he's definitely catching Burries. It was 1.8 seconds, it's down to 1.3. So Eugene really getting on with things here. Jacques Legrand obviously catching Eugene as well. Not by much, but he is. Manu is in a distant fourth, but a very good race by him, keeping it clean, not getting into trouble. Skodonks under pressure now from Bernard. Bernard obviously on fresh sets of tyres. He is currently on
Bernard's got 10 laps old mediums.
10 lap old mediums. 10 lap old mediums.
It's and Tiger Bolt where they use mediums.
Yes, and Tiger Bolt on fresh set of mediums. So we'll see how Bernard, if he can get past the Red Bull. But in essence, this is a good race by Bernard. I mean, if he can have a top 8, I think he will take that before the race if you told him. Yeah, Lee not getting together tonight, so it's very unfortunate for him. Sniffleiser in 11th, he's pitted for the Hearts, he's not going to have to stop again. It's me, Buddha, pitted also on mediums, I don't think he needs to stop again, or maybe. Nam Bulldog went into the pits for a brand new set of mediums, so he doesn't have to stop again. Yeah, so let's see.
I'm seeing currently Nam Bulldog still has the fastest lap of a 136.8. I'm not sure what your thoughts are, if you think that time will improve.
I think it will. I think as the fuel loads come down, I think as the guys go, you know, if there's another safety car, the guys might all go for softs. Definitely that will tumble. But it's nice to see a Haas on top. Even if it's just to the fastest lap.
Even if it's at the bottom, it's still at the top.
It's still fine. It's still fine. I actually said to my teammate earlier that I'm not going to probably race. So there's no bunnies tonight, and I'm not sure what the Kunijn in English is, but I called him the massive Kunijn. So I put a lot of pressure on him. Shame. Yeah. So it's been a okay season for us. I think we could have done better. I think the Haas team. We probably had another 30 odd points in us somewhere.
But seeing he's got a fresh set of mediums on, I guess he's aiming to finish the race on those tyres.
Absolutely. I mean, he's 1 minute 25 seconds behind the leader.
There's still the guys, I mean, the top 5 guys, 6 guys haven't pitted yet, so, or they've got, no wait, the first
And
5
there we
guys,
go.
sorry.
Bernard takes Kadonks eventually. He's got past him. Well done for Bernard. I'm not sure if he's going to make those tires last till the end. Kadonks doesn't have to pit again. I think everyone now is sort of like waiting for a safety car to make things happen for them again.
Look, like I said, I think the first 5 guys now probably will have to pit again before the end of the race, and that might play in Nam Bulldog's favour. So
Absolutely. What worries me, however, is that Jacques Lefrançois is very good at tire conservation. He's just one of those guys. He's almost like Jacques now.
he can do the impossible.
Yeah, he can really do the impossible. We'll see how far he can push those mediums before it really gives into him. Manu in a very good fourth. He just needs to keep it together. He's going to have to pit most definitely again. There's no way he will do another 13 laps. There's no way he can do 27 laps on that. As I said, that Tiger Bolt goes past Bernard. Bernard making nice way for him. I think he realizes that this is not my race. I'm not racing. And as I said, he runs wide. But Tiger Bolt's not really his race at the moment. He's racing Skadonks. He's racing in essence Lee van Weyen, Jaco Nagel behind him. So he needs to think about those guys. And he's racing Manu. So we'll see how that turns out. So Eugene catching Burries inch by inch every lap. So Eugene and Burries, same duration of the mediums. Jacques Lefrançois catching them again. He's now just 6 seconds adrift. So,
and there's Nam Bulldog, another fastest lap, 136.1.
Absolutely. Take it on the chin and move on.
Well done.
So just from an interval point of view, so Eugene is just 1 second behind. Burries almost in DRS range.
Yes, no, he's definitely catching him. And I see Jacques Lefrançois is also closing the gap quite quickly.
Absolutely. 2 laps ago it was 8 seconds. It's now down to 5.7. So he's really putting the cat amongst the pigeons here. And if you look at it in essence, Antonio, and I didn't pick this up, but his mediums is the same lap old as what Burries and Eugene is. So he's actually on there with him. So he can actually, when they go into the pits, to pit for softs, he can put softs on and come out.
Yes, he can pit with him and just continue his fight.
It's just ridiculous how fast this man is, because he's made a pit stop already. He's down, he's in 3rd position, and there is no more pit stop difference. So he's literally made 30 seconds up. This is stupid. This is stupid, because he pitted on lap 1 or lap 2 to fit new tires. Then he sort of like got on with it. He caught these oaks, and he's, yeah, I mean, it's all square.
He almost lost the race in the first corner, you know, almost retired.
It
he
was
lucky
ridiculous.
to get away there.
So
and already on the podium.
If you can't say this really in essence, because it probably doesn't make mathematical sense, but if he was in front, he would have been 30 seconds ahead. Because it's literally a pit stop ahead.
Yes.
Or 23 seconds or whatever pit stop here in Russia is. So a very good drive by him. I think he stabilized it now at 5.5. I think he also wants to check the penalties. It's going to be interesting to see. Eugene decides to pit. I think he wants to go for the undercut here. This is going to be, both of them pit. I think Burries made a late decision when he saw Eugene pop in. It's going to be interesting to see if any one of these two does have a penalty. So Burries doesn't serve a penalty. Eugene goes in. Does he serve a penalty? No, he doesn't. So very clean by both of them. So they're both on a set of softs. Now, what can Jacques do? Can Jacques seriously pull out another 8, 9, 10 seconds and just get in front of these guys after his pit stop? So currently Jacques is leading these guys by 18 seconds. I think it takes about 24 seconds to get into the pit, or 25 seconds. So once that gap gets to 25 seconds between him and Burries, which I don't think it will, because Burries is going to be extremely quick on the softs, unless him and Eugene gets into a tangle. All this brought Tiger Bolt back into contention. He's now in 4th. He doesn't have to pit again. Skadonks probably doesn't have to pit again. He's on the hards. He's getting swarmed all over by Lee now, by Bernard, and then Jaco Nagel as well. And then we've got Sniffleiser in 9th, Manu in 10th, Buddha in 11th, a very distant and lonely 11th. DBR in 12th. He doesn't have to pit again. He's made his final stop on mediums. Nam Bulldog is now in 13th. And Geerboete all the way down into 14th.
You know, just to add a bit more insult to the injury, I was looking at the race director for Jacques Legrandsie, and he only has, it seems like, one warning for exceeding track limits.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
This is just wrong. This is like playing Zimbabwe against Australia cricket when Australia's in form. This is just, but it's good fun. It's good to see. Look, it's not over yet. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. Burries is catching him on those softs. Jacques going to have to monitor that gap very closely. He's going to have to time it to perfection when he comes in for the softs. Unless he's not going to come in again. Unless he just decides, look, you're 13 or so, and as I said, that he pops into the pits. So Jacques comes out. How much time has he lost to these oaks? I think he lost time. I think he pitted in the wrong time. He should have either pitted just a lap later or a lap earlier. But he has lost, he's definitely lost a second to them. So he's now 6 seconds behind Eugene, and Eugene all over Burries here. So let's see what's going on here. Eugene definitely in DRS range, 0.5 of a second. Let's see if he can keep this together. These two do not want to cause chaos between each other, because that will just bring Jacques back into play.
These two actually have a very good race so far, very consistent, occupying number 1 and 2 for the race so far, so I don't think they want to lose it now.
Burries running extremely wide. They're getting a time penalty there, so I'm not sure what Eugene's time penalties look like. But Eugene is obviously putting a lot of pressure on Burries here. He's going to get DRS assistance. Yep, there we go. If you don't know what DRS is, it's a drag reduction system. The back flap opens up. You get maximum speed. Goes in on the inside. Is he going to outbrake him? Is he? Yep, he just closes the door and he says, thank you very much. That's me.
Very good overtake there.
So he needs to get ahead now by quite some margin, because Burries is going to catch the next DRS zone, which makes this track so... Oh, and Burries runs so wide. He almost clipped the wall there. That would have been disastrous for him. That would have been race gone. He is now 16th. So he's definitely going to get DRS here. Not sure how Eugene's ERS looks. If he's got any left in the tank. I don't want to bring that up on the telemetry, because I know there is race engineers that's watching the stream. Burries does get DRS. We'll see how close he can get to Eugene. I think he's a little bit too far away. Yep, he is. And Jacques, 6.5 seconds behind this group. So we'll keep an eye out on that and see what he can do with that. Tiger Bolt, another 8 seconds behind Jacques. He's on the mediums. Lee in a brilliant fit. I mean, we've been talking a lot about Jacques, but what a comeback from Lee. He's 7 laps old softs. I'm not sure if he's going to have to pit again. That will be disastrous for him if he has to pit again. That will drop him all the way down the field.
Yeah, that will cost him the race.
Bernard has opted to pit, so he's pitted for the soft, so he's going to make a late splash and dash. See maybe if he can grab the fastest lap. And definitely Buddha and Manu is up for grabs for him if he can get it together. There's 8 laps left, only 11 seconds or 15 seconds, so he needs to catch them 2 seconds a lap. I'm not sure if that's possible. So Eugene now opening in that gap nicely, 1.4 seconds. Not sure if Burries is just buying his time here, thinking, okay, well, hang on. You burn your tires very quickly. I'll catch you the last 2 laps. Burries is very clever when it comes to these kind of things. Jacques not really catching them. Surprise.
Yes, yeah.
Unless he knows something that we don't know. Unless he's got a race engineer that gives him all the penalties and tells him, hey, buddy, you don't have any penalties. You just need to stay within 6 seconds of these guys and you will win by a country mile. I have seen messages pop up for Burries for corner cutting. I'm not sure about Eugene. But if I have to go on what you tell me is that Jacques Legrandsie got no penalties against him. So
I'm just riding on board here. Sorry to interrupt you with Manu. He's behind Sniffleiser and Kedongs and really putting a lot of pressure on Kedongs. So they're really bunching up now.
There we go. While you're on board with him, I'm going to get on board with Manu. Yeah, both of them. This is going to be a double whammy. Let's see how close they can get to Kedong. Are they Sniffleiser having a look? Is he? Yes, he is. Manu sees the opportunity. Sees Kedong run wide. And what do you do now? What do you do now? Do you go on the inside? Do you cause another incident like Eugene? and and then Bulldog
The
for
dog's
you, just
running wide.
all running wide. Those hearts, just the 18 laps old. They should be nice and warm by now. But Mono needs to get past them. I mean, he is faster. If he gets this right, he can stick with Sniffleizer. Seventh position is up for grabs here for Manu if he gets it together.
Yes.
Burnout currently in 11th. He's making a little bit of time up on Buddha, but not enough really to get him into the top 10. Very disappointing. DBR in a 12th position with Burnout in front of him, so he can still catch Burnout. Nam Bulldog going to put pressure on his son-in-law very quickly. There's going to be a house arrest if he catches DBR. We'll keep an eye on the horse and the Barbie Mobile, see how these two guys get on with it. I just want to jump back and look at that gap. Gap now, Jock's taken out a good 7 tenths, so he's now 5.3 seconds behind Burries. So we'll see if Jock gets it together. But once again, this is all about tactics.
Oh no, sorry, Manu and Kedongs had contact on the second last corner.
Grief.
They're still both in the race, but it was so unnecessary.
So Manu now leading
Manu
Kedongs.
was all over the back of Kedongs for most of the lap. He was even more conservative on his ERS than Kedongs was, so he was really in control of it. And I think he just should have waited for the DRS section to make his move, but very unfortunate.
Okay, so I can't see any major damage on the wing of the McLaren or the Mercedes. I'm not sure about Skadonk if he's got damage on that front wing.
No, Manu seems fine. And
yeah, it looks like it was just a bit of a bargee.
oh, no, there's the end plate missing on the Red Bull. I'm not sure if it's from that incident,
Yeah,
but
that's going to hurt him definitely, especially on the hearts. It's going to bring Buddha back into play maybe. Sniffleizer now capitalized on that. Now he's pulled out a good 5 seconds or 3 seconds out of Manu.
yes.
So he's nicely in 7th. Jaco Nagel, a very good consistent race by him, currently in 6th position in the Alpha. You've got Lee. He's going to be swarming all over the back of Tiger Bolt very soon, so he definitely can rank up 4th position here. Jacques Legrandsie not getting the pace that he thought he would get, I think, probably.
Yes, he's not having the same pace on those softs. I'd really like to see him to close that gap a bit more.
But sometimes it's the case that the guys use a lot of fuel, and then they have to go into fuel conservation, trying to catch up with the pack.
I think he also were maybe a bit aggressive on his ERS as I'm looking here. So probably just conserving it for a lap or two and maybe trying to have another dash.
Well, he's got 5 laps left. I'm not sure what the penalties look like for Eugene and for Burries at the moment, but Eugene is now leading Burries by 2 seconds. Another 5 seconds back as well.
Find that first.
So Burries, as I said, Burries rams up another 3-second time penalty, and that's going to put him into trouble. If Jock keeps it clean, Burries is going to be in trouble here. And if he keeps on ranking them up, I'm not sure what Tiger Bolt looks like, but he can be under threat with Tiger Bolt as well, in 4th at the moment. So I want to jump on here a bit with Lee and see how Lee is definitely catching Tiger Bolt. He's now within DRS range. So we'll see DRS wide open as he comes through. We'll see how quickly if he can catch Tiger Bolt on the start-finish straight. He's definitely within a second from Tiger Bolt. He's now 9/10, so he needs to keep that under a second. So if you're new to this, under a second from the car in front of you, you get DRS assistance, which is drag reduction system. It opens up your back flap, it reduces the airflow through your car, and it just gives you maximum top end. So we'll see if Lee gets DRS. He should. And I'm currently with him. The flap pops up. I think he's a bit too far away from Tiger Bolt, but it is going to bring him close on this lap. Yep, definitely closer. So Tiger Bolt is under threat here from Lee, and as Lee lamps up another time penalty, this is going to be a penalty fest. Oh, Lee goes on the inside, Tiger Bolt defending on the outside. Are they going to touch? No, oh man. Is he going to have to give that position back? No, they say that's fine. So Lee got through. He needs to keep it together now because Tiger Bolt is going to get DRS assistance in the next zone. Tiger Bolt not letting this Red Bull go. It's Bernard disqualified from the session.
Oh no,
dear.
yes, so close.
These Reynolds just can't get a break.
No, man.
Welcome to the stream, Dober Dobby. He's saying go Jock. Yeah, Jock's pace is not what we thought it would be. We thought he would catch these guys with a speed of note, almost like a Elon Musk rocket, which he didn't. He's got only 3 laps left. Once again, penalties will come into play. So I'm not sure what that looks like.
I was trying to see what Burries have racked up so far, and it doesn't seem like as if he's got any penalties against him. When I'm looking at the race director, I might be wrong, but that's what I was able to see.
I did see a couple pop up on my screen a couple of laps ago. Not sure if that's going to still stand, but let's see what Goatmasters think at the end. Lee now defending for his life from Tiger Bolt. Tiger Bolt's going to get now DRS. Let's see how close Tiger Bolt can get to him. Oh, these guys are going to get close into turn 1. So let's see. Tiger Bolt going on the outside. Is he going to... And there's contact. There's contact.
There's an implant of the Red Bull card.
That is just unnecessary. That is just... Lee is not going to be impressed. There's some major damage on that nose. I can see pieces sticking out as I'm on board with him. Oh, he's not going to be happy. Busy night for the stewards. He's going to battle to keep this car on track. Jock not catching bodies whatsoever. Only 3 laps left. DBR in ghost mode. Not sure why he's in the AI. It's obviously very distracting for the drivers around him. So not sure what's going on there. Burries is now 2.5 seconds behind Eugene, so that gap is nicely stabilized. Jock, I think, knowing that he doesn't have penalties, is hoping on that the guys have racked up penalties in front of him. Hoping also that the guys didn't serve it in the pits, because that will be a bummer. So Tiger Bolt now ahead of Lee. Lee's got some major damage. You've got Jakun Nagel in 6th position, Sniffelaars in 7th. And you've got Manu in a good 8th. Skadonks in 9th.
Yeah, all the drivers are spread out now, but no real battles going on at this moment. I have a suspicion Jock might be pulling up his socks a bit now, trying maybe to close a gap. But if there's any penalties that might come into play, you know, just to increase his chances for a better position.
Absolutely. So he's currently 7 seconds off the lead, or just over 7 seconds. 7 point.
And that's not a lot if the top drivers have, I mean, it's going to cost you 3-second penalties and you've got the lead. So it's not a lot.
Absolutely. I see that gap's come down now to 5.1 seconds, but it's a little bit too late, I think, for track position. Not sure what Codemaster will decide after the race, but on track position, he's not going to make it stick. Unfortunately, on track for overtakes. So Tiger Bolt in a distant fourth. So your top 3 will stay your top 3. It's just a matter of who will get first, second, and third. But the top 3 is basically secure of a podium position. Tiger Bolt 23 seconds behind Jacques Lafranci. He's now followed by Lee. I see Lee with that damaged front wing of him is just saying, dude, I'm not giving up here. I'm not. This Red Bull is not handling like it should. But I've got DRS and I'm coming for you. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that Red Bull on track. And a brilliant job by Lee. 13 lap old softs. He's going to have to make those softs work till the end of the race, which means he would have done 17 laps odd on that softs. And that's good. That's really good.
I'm just starting to think about who I would choose as my driver of the day, and it's actually a difficult one for me.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking on the one hand, you've got Eugene and Burries that had such a good race at the front, you know, some good overtakes that we've seen between them. And then on the other hand, we have Jacques de Grancy that had a bad start, and he came back up through the ranks, and, you know, he's got a podium. So it's a difficult call for me who the driver of the day is.
I think for me at the moment it's definitely Eugene. I think Eugene didn't get pole like he wanted to. Yeah, there was a bit of argy-bargy between the guys, but he made the medium stick. Yeah, it's really between him and Jock. I think also Jock taking out 30 seconds or 25 seconds out of these guys. So if you look at the telemetry that I will put up for you now, you will see that basically he's had, there we go, one more stop than everyone else, in front of him, and he's still 3 seconds behind. It's unbelievable. So
Yes.
I think I would go for driver of the day, Jock Francie.
Yes.
I think he's really lap one incident. A lot of guys would put his remote away and say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not going to race tonight. He just stuck it out, made it work, made the extra pit stop, went through the field, and he's got podium. And he's now 3.6 seconds. So he's obviously got to hurry up. But we are going to get with Eugene on board here, but on his last lap. This is the last lap in Sochi. So next week, before we finish this lap, you can join us next week for Japan. We're in Japanese country, and we are going to do tier 2 on Monday night, and we'll do tier 1 on Wednesday, like as per normal. And that will be followed then by the next race, which will be Mexico. So you can all take out some sangrias, take out your burritos, and have something cool. Please don't take out any mice or bats to eat during Japan. I think that's not cool. I think that's more the Chinese people stuff, and luckily we do not do in China this year or this season. But very controlled race by Eugene. He's got just a couple of turns left, 3 seconds ahead of Burries. Jock brought the gap nicely down to 3.8 seconds. Not sure is that enough for him to win or be second. And then Antonio, I'm not sure if you've got the guys as friends, if you can maybe invite them after the race in.
Unfortunately not.
Okay,
Well,
so
I see we've got Adrian here.
I'm not
But I
even going to
guess
talk to the Renault guys. I do not want to talk to them. I was rooting for them. Good qualifying by you, Adrian, and disqualified.
Yeah, it's just Codemasters.
So, and as you say that, I just want to take the viewers through this. Eugene takes first position. Burries ends up second. Jacques Lefrancie in third. The penalties was not enough to bring Jacques into third. He finishes 0.7 seconds behind Burries. Should have pushed a little bit harder.
I wonder what's the chances of having a couple of shots in the McLaren garage now.
Absolutely. So, definitely. So Eugene, a well-controlled race. First for him. Burries second. Good job by him. Jacques coming all the way from the back into third. Tiger Bolt in fourth. He goes over the line. We just want to see where Lee ends up. Lee finishes up in fifth. Yaku in sixth. We'll just spend some time with Sniffleizer. A very good race by him as well. Did the extra stop. There we go. He finishes in seventh on the hards. Good race by him. Manu in the background. Ooh, almost loses the back end. He goes over the line in eighth in the Mercedes. So good points for Mercedes. Skadonks getting it together. A little bit of pressure there from Buddha, but it's not really necessary. Skadonk goes over the line. Buddha goes over the line. So they finish in 9th and 10th. And my teammate, Man Bulldog, all the way in 11th. I just want to see if I can get the drivers quickly in. Adrian, I'm not sure if you can do it for me.
I already did.
Oh, it's nice to have Crofty here. So we'll just wait for everyone. Yeah, so we'll just wait. I see you join. Eugene joined already, but we'll just wait for everyone to pop in before we start the conversation. I see Boris has joined, so we're just waiting for Jacques Lefrancie to see if he can join us in the commentary box, and then we'll take it from there. So before we get to our drivers, yeah, very good race. Bittersweet for me not being part of it, but it was a good race. It was good action. I think there was plenty to talk about. Luckily, Antony was with me in the comms box. Oh man, that would have been hectic. So while we wait for Jacques Lefrancie, I'm not sure if he's going to join us. I think let's start with Burries in second. Burries, well done. And I say this with tongue in cheek because obviously everyone in tier 1 is my rival, so it's not nice to see my rivals ranking points up while I get nothing. But Burries, a good race by you, mates.
How's it, guys? Thanks, Andre. Thanks.
Good race. You probably had it in you to win. Where did it go wrong, mate?
To be honest, Q3, that pole position was, I don't know how I got that. I started the hot lap with about 34% ERS in my tank. I just wanted to put on a lap, and when I crossed the finish line, I saw I had pole position. So firstly, that was a big surprise for me. And somewhere, I don't know, I lost rhythm. I don't know where, I don't know what happened. I spoke to Razor, he's our racing engineer, and he just kept on telling me how I'm increasing the gap, and then all of a sudden Eugene just started picking up pace, and it was downhill from there. I must say, Eugene, well done to the victory, dude. You really deserve it. You had the pace, you had the consistency. Well done to you,
But almost a double for you, Boris. I mean, having pole position and obviously the win. This is good points for you in the World Championship. I mean, you're definitely going to be leading the World Championship after tonight, barring obviously Ray Stewart report coming out still. But a clean race from you. You, from what I can see, it looks like you're going to lead the World Championship going into Japan from Jock. And a good points for the Mercedes guys, because Mano also finishing up in 8th, I think. So that was really good for Mano. So good points for the Merc guys. And I mean, that's what it's all about, really.
Yes, no, definitely. Our goal is to take constructors.
I do not like hearing that. You must remember, I am commentating, but I'm still driving in Tier 1. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
But Boris, from my side, it was a pleasure commentating tonight on you guys, and well done for a good race and a good exhibition for the guys.
Okay, thanks, Heinrich, and thanks for the sacrifice.
That's what we do in this league, Boris. You know me. It's all about the league and the drivers. But I'm glad I could stream. I'm glad I could get my stuff sorted. And once again, from my side, Boris, what a pole position. Dude, I went absolutely ballistic in my living room. What a good lap, mate. Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Right, next one up is Mr. Legrandse. I've got a couple of questions for you because you are my mate. You've been my teammate. Love you to bits. Dude. You need to help me understand this.
How do you do it?
No. I actually want to give him some horns here. You literally lost it on lap 1 between you and Eugene, which we'll talk about now. And I'm glad Eugene is here. Or not Eugene, sorry, Lee. And then you had to pit, so you were literally a pit stop behind everyone. So 25 seconds behind everyone. You caught everyone by 25 seconds. You literally caught the top 2 drivers, so that you were on the same race strategy as them on mediums. So you literally took 25 seconds out of their lead. And then you climbed on the softs with them, and you couldn't catch them. What is going on?
I don't know, man. Well, let's start at the beginning. I got swamped at the start. I tried to get out of the way, but I lost my wing, and I was at the back of the grid, so I did the pit stop, and then I had good pace on the mediums. I think I wasn't doing so good on the softs. I was losing it in the final sector, the final 4 or 5 corners, every time at the back end. So I just couldn't catch them. I was catching them 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 2 tenths, but I had no earth left. No fuel left. I was trying.
So between myself and Antonio as well, we got all excited seeing you catch up on sector 1 and sector 2 lap by lap, and then you lose 3-4 tenths in sector 3. So it basically brings you down to neutral again. I don't know if you have a race engineer or if you keep track on penalties, but did you know that you would literally be 7 tenths off second place?
Actually, I did. No, I don't have an engineer or somebody that helps me, but I asked Jeff about the driver in front, so he told me that he had a 6 second time penalty, and I know I have a 3 second. So I knew if I could catch him in that 7 tenths at the final lap, but I just couldn't. The guys.
But listen, needless to say, I mean, it was an impressive race by you. Again, I mean, pitting one more time than everyone else on the top 3 and still finishing within 5 seconds of them. Job, good race. It's really impressive.
Thanks.
I mean, you entertain us every week. I'm very happy
and
to have you.
Thanks for the sacrifice again. I see you commentating tonight.
It was very difficult in the beginning. It felt like I was doing 2 a.m. radio at High Pulse Stereo because I was talking to myself, and it's difficult having comms alone. Luckily, Antonio saw the comments and he was listening, so he jumped in. But that's what the league's all about. We make sacrifices to keep the majority happy.
That's why this is such an awesome league.
Yeah, and we're extremely happy to have you here. You know, and as league owner, obviously you tend to you can make decisions based on yourself or on the league, and it's one thing I learned from my management team is to make decisions for the league and for the business, not for myself. So I didn't get any points tonight, which I can't win the World Championship anyway. But there was a good fourth up for me for grabs. But we'll see next week. But Jock, anyway, thanks for the entertainment. It was awesome. Hopefully Savage will be back next week. Not sure why he's not here with us this week.
I think he's studying.
Is it? So hopefully he will be back next week with another exciting driver. But Jock, well done from our side, mate.
Oh, thanks
Yes,
very much.
I would also like to say, Jock, looking at the pace you had, only racking up a 3-second penalty, that was very, very good racing. I really enjoyed watching you, so well done.
Oh, thanks very much.
I know third place is not what you were looking for, but you do get driver of the day from the comms box.
Oh,
so
thank
myself
you very
and
much. Thank
you
you.
absolutely get nothing for that, but at least it's driver of the day. So Jock,
I got the
Jock.
third place, but I have the bragging rights.
yeah, there we
Yes,
go.
yes.
Jock, well done. Good luck for Japan
Thanks,
next
man.
week, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Jock. And then Eugene, dude. So let's start. And I was chatting with you last night, and you see, it's a good thing that I didn't practice because I didn't end up racing. But first lap, take us through this. I mean, big contact between you and Lee. Not what both of you wanted because you're both championship contenders. If I look at the championship standings at the moment, and I just want to pull it up here quickly in front of me, you've got Jock leading before this race results by 2 points from Burries. You've got Lee, Tiger Balls, Avalach, DBR, and then yourself in 7th. What happened it's not really a corner. I can't call it a corner. So what happened on start?
Well, to start off with, I first didn't see D. I just saw the proximity error on the bottom of the screen, and I felt a tap on my back wheel. The nose came in. As it came in, then I realized Lee's right next to me, and I just squeezed in. So there must have been like a first stage contact when my car lost a bit of control. And then yeah, it's not what I wanted. I also spoke to Lee right before the race. We were in a practice session together and had a little party and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, look at this
after
racing
that,
incidents.
I tried to keep my head down because
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming my way. It should be a penalty. I'm just keeping my head down and carrying on.
Well, you did keep
Yeah.
your head down very nicely, by the way. You pitted with, you stayed with Burries all the way. You lost some time. Then you came back at him in the last section, just so you're pushing very hard before the pit stop. No penalty served in the pit stop. You basically both pit at the same time, came out at the same time. You gave him a little bit of leverage, and then you just made the move stick. And then when you went past, it was gone. It was 2 seconds later, and you won. So really controlled by you from the front.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know where Burries. Firstly, congratulations to him on that pole position lap. I don't know where he got that lap time from. And then, to come back to the race, when I saw Burries go, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to paint a big bullseye on the back of that Merc and I'm trying to chase him down. And I just kept my gap. I just make sure I'm not extending the gap. I'm just going to shrink it. And yeah, when I saw my opportunity after the pit stop, I thought to myself, it's now or never. I had a bit of fuel and ERS in my back pocket, took it out, and used all of it.
And that worked for you. And I mean, currently I'm looking
Yeah.
at the driver's standings, and I say this with great remorse. I feel like I should be sulking, going sit outside in the cold with a blanket and be homeless. But you will jump me in the championship after tonight, which is not fun. I don't know how to go about this. But anyway,
my luck
Eugene,
was turned for once, so yeah.
yeah, Eugene, very clean race by you, buddy, except for the
Thank you.
first thing. I mean,
Thank
obviously
you.
that will go revert to the stewards. We'll see what comes from that. But let's not take that into consideration now. Let's take not anything away from a victory. A good race. Antonio, I don't know if you've got anything for Eugene.
Yeah, well done on your race. I really enjoyed watching you and Burries had a fight. You had some good clean overtakes. It was very nice to see you guys racing each other. And go easy on the vodka at the after party, eh?
I'll try my best.
Yeah, so absolutely. Have a shot of vodka. And Eugene, well done. And hopefully I can catch you in a practice session or two before Japan. Hopefully I can be back on track. And good luck for Japan next week. And yeah, you are back in a championship, young man, after this win. So keep it
Thank
together.
you. Yeah, and thanks to you guys for the streaming commentator as well. As
It's
always.
an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Have a good evening, guys.
Thanks, Eugene. You too, mate. Alright, and then so just before we say cheers, ciao, I just want to highlight that we didn't even get to season 2, but we'll discuss that maybe on Monday night. But yeah, just if you want to follow us, you can follow us on obviously on YouTube on the channel, so you can just subscribe to us and watch all the action from next week as well. 5 races left in the season before we head off to our Game Changer season 2 on the new 2020 F1 Codemaster game. You can catch us also on Facebook at Full Throttle Racing. And then you can also catch us on Instagram on Full Throttle Racing. So please go join our social media platforms. You'll get all the driver standings. Get to learn to know the drivers. So please join us there. And then lastly from me, Antoni. Dude, I do not know how to say thank you to you. So thanks for popping in the comments box. It would have been a very difficult night for me.
It was an absolute pleasure. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than that I initially thought, so I might be back again.
I think we found a new commentator or talent, so this is almost like idols. So from my side, I think
maybe I'm a better commentator than a driver.
Well, I think you should drive and commentate. I don't think any driver should give his seat up. But from my side, Antoni, well done. You were extremely professional. You were awesome to have in the comments box. Thanks for sending me the message and saying, dude, I want to jump in. It helped me a lot tonight, and it means a lot to me. So it's good to see that there's this kind of friendship in Full Throttle Racing. So thanks from my side. Hopefully the Red Bulls, you and Nicholas can get it together for Japan. I'm rooting for you guys next week. So good, all the best of luck there. And thank you very much for that. And then just for Burnout, thanks for getting the guys in the party crafty. It's a disappointing race for you, mate, I know. Hopefully you can get it together in Japan. Hopefully I can race in Japan so we can get some practice together. But I do not want to keep everyone. Guys, from everyone who was watching, from Barry's, David Dolby, Gerard Kotze, Adrian, Reinhard Brits, everyone who jumped into the comments, thanks for keeping us entertained. And we will catch you next week in Japan. Hustle. And it's a cheers, ciao, and tot ziens from my side. Ciao.
Cheers.